Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing with my How to Kill a Kit with Style, which is a rainbow kit. So I just went through and picked a whole bunch of rainbow colors and I'm in love with it. So I am scrapbooking one of these two photos. I haven't decided just yet. It's either going to be the Star Tours photo or the chess table in the Millennium Falcon. I did pull out one of my Circle Heart wood veneers out of my shop, and I also pulled my All-Star Stencil, which I didn't originally have in the kit, but you know, I am scrapbooking space, so I felt like I needed it. I grabbed my orange embellishment mousse, so let's see what I can do. Now I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to use my pen blade to cut out the circle. And I did this for one reason only. I want to use the rest of the layout that I cut out on another page. So normally I would have just used my scissors and cut around it in a circle, but like I said, I want to use the cutout part for another page, so I didn't want to have it ripped. So we're going to put that off to the side. It's going back into my Kill a Kit box, and we're going to make that happen. Now I am just kind of lining this up to figure out where it's going to go. I do open up some Nuvo mousse, and I'm going to use a stencil. Now this is the All-Star Stencil from my shop, and this is going to be a great video to show you why it's important to use a stencil that is thick or thicker. So this stencil that I'm using is a prototype stencil. So what I do when I'm creating the stencils is I have some stencil material that really just isn't what I would want to use on my layouts, but it's the prototypes. It's to cut settings, just to see where things line up, and you know, look, like it's just coming through. So the mousse just comes through. Like I've got a big splotchy mess. So I actually went and got the thicker stencil. And if you were paying attention or you noticed, I don't want to say paying attention because that sounds kind of rude, but if you noticed, the stencil material was thinner and now it is a thicker kind of stencil material here. So I am just going to go ahead and continue to use my mousse through the stencil. And I do get some bleed through, but honestly, you guys, by this point, I was drinking a couple glasses of wine and really wasn't taking my time. I was just having a grand old time. So yeah, some of my favorite pages though I have created while I've had some wine. I went to a scrapbook retreat many years ago. Shout out to all my scrapping friends, MSN ladies. And there was a night where we just partook, okay? We partook and we had a great time. And some of the layouts I created that night are like my favorite. They're just great. So here we go. I'm going to pull that stencil off, and then as you can see, there is a whole lot less bleed through of the embellishment mousse on that thicker, better quality stencil. Now I am going to use these letter stamps from the stamp market. Now these are awesome. They come in two sizes. They are both like tile stickers, so neither one of them are the exact size of the October Afternoon letter stickers, but they remind me of that. They definitely have that feel. So I'm going to use my Brutus Monroe embossing pad, and I am going to just really basically put a whole bunch of ink on this bad boy, and then I'm going to emboss on with some alabaster white embossing powder. Now, Brutus Monroe embossing powders are the bee's knees, okay? They are my absolute favorite. They are such a great quality. I've said it before. You guys are probably sick and tired of hearing it if you've watched a lot of my videos, but I am changing out all of my embossing powders to Brutus Monroe. There are just a couple colors I have left that aren't Brutus Monroe, and I really don't know why I still have them, because I never reach for them because I just love the Brutus Monroe ones so much. So I am going to apply my heat tool to this. I usually leave the embossing in there because embossing is magic, And I just really love watching it change from a powder to like a smooth and clear kind of glossy finish. I'm going to go ahead and use the matching die for this and just place it on top. I'll hold the die in place with some purple tape, and then I will run it through my die cut machine. Now it seems kind of funky because I really am not using many letters off of this at all. I'm spelling out "it is," but it's great to make and have on hand. So if black and white is a color combo you would use often for these kind of tile letters, then you just have them and then they're already made up for you the next time. So you can just reach and grab them, which I think is amazing. So I grabbed this black and white star paper from, I guess, the now defunct company Pattern Happy. But I have some of their stuff in my stash, so we're just going to go with it. Now that beautiful blue paper that I'm using to mat my photo is from Tonic, and it's from the 6x6 Winter Skies paper pad. No, December Skies paper pad. It is a beautiful, beautiful blue color. And I'm kind of sad that I'm covering up so much of it because it is that pretty, but it does give me just a little bit of a nice shimmery blue. And I've got a lot of shimmer going on with that embellishment mousse, which is off to the side drying. So I just want to make sure I have shimmer elsewhere on my page as well. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to bring in this wood veneer heart frame that's from my shop. And I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't use it on this page. I'm like, because I got a lot of stars going on. Do I really want to introduce a heart too? Well, I do. I do introduce a heart too. I'm using a couple die cuts from Coco Vanilla Studio Legendary Collection. Now I decide to cut out a little bit of the inside of the word best here. And that's just because on the die cut that says the, there's a lot of die cut area that is cut out, and I just felt like I needed to cut this out and not have this big expanse of white. So even that tiny little bit right there makes me feel better. So I'm going to just add some adhesive and layer it up right here. And then I decide I need to bring in my mixed media background. Now the area where the embellishment mousse kind of just like went through the stencil when I used the first stencil, I'm going to have that down here in the bottom right hand corner, kind of where my photo and embellishment is going to go. So we're just going to go ahead and put that down there. I'm going to figure out the placement for my letters here. The words failed. Words just failed. So I just go ahead and layer these guys up. So it says it is the best, and then we've got incredible as well. Now one thing I really like doing is embellishing with words. I just enjoy it. So there we have it. Now I'm thinking about what I want to do with this wood veneer heart, but I get a little distracted by the Paper House sticker book here. Now this sticker book is definitely a planner sticker book, but there's so much in it that I totally think is fantastic for scrapbookers. Like there's a ton of label stickers, there's a ton of just beautiful color stickers and icons that totally go for scrapbooking. I decided not to use the Weekend Adventure sticker because there was an awful lot of white around it and I didn't want to cut around it like I did for the best. So I find some label stickers that I'm just going to build a little bit of a backdrop over here with. And I'm doing that for two reasons. One, I need a little bit of weight because of my wood veneer that's basically hanging off the photo, and also I'm trying to camouflage some of that embellishment mousse that kind of went splat at the beginning. Like I said, I'm putting it over here because there's a lot of stuff going over here, but I don't want you to look at this corner and be like, whoa, what the heck is that? I want it to kind of be camouflaged. So now I'm just trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. I pull out my sequins because at first I was going to sequin the entire inside of the wood veneer heart, but ultimately I decide not to do that. I do trace around it because I am going to back it, and then I go ahead and trim that out. Now I have an idea for the wood veneer heart without backing it, and that'll be coming up soon in another video. But this is just one way you can use it. So I'm going to trim around the edges so I don't have the paper poking through. And I really don't know why I chose to do it with white paper, because now I have this big, huge expanse of white that I really don't like it. So we're going to fix that. First, I'm going to trim this down until it's perfect, and then we're going to have to redo it anyway, so I don't know why I'm spending so much time on it. So I'm going to go ahead and trace the little heart, and then I am going to just fill it with a couple sequins from the Oops-A-Daisy sequin mix, and I'm not even using the colored sequins. I'm using kind of the white iridescent ones. I do grab my crystal katana because it is my favorite sequin tool ever, and I'm just kind of filling in that heart, and the sequins don't exactly fit in perfectly, and I don't want the sequins poking out, so I'm having to layer them up on top of each other, which is why I added a little bit more glue. So I get that down there and I like it. I like the little sequin on the heart, but now I'm feeling like this big white area is just too much open white space. So I'm like, what do I put in here? I was thinking about a photo at first, but then I decided, you know what? I've got this beautiful black and white star paper kind of just peeking out from behind my photo. So I'm going to bring that down to the bottom here so that you see that pattern a little bit more, which is what I do here. Now this is interesting because I have a circle in the center of my layout, but I'm really not embellishing in a circle. I'm kind of embellishing in a straight line, like I'm kind of embellishing up and down the page. I do branch out a little bit to the left, but basically I'm embellishing in a line over top of my circle. So this is much better. I really like now that the heart has the sequins in it and that the bigger circle has a pattern in it, and I am a fan. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that bad boy down to my layout, and I am just gluing it right on top of the labels right here. It is completely fine with me that that is going on. I don't need to put a whole lot of journaling on this. I have a ton, and I mean a ton, of photos from the Millennium Falcon ride. So each, I mean a ton, okay? So each page is not going to have epic journal writing on it. It's just not. I don't know how many different ways I can say how amazing it was and it felt like we were on a spaceship for real. Like, I don't know how many different ways I can say that. And I just did what I hate, and I used many different together. I just made myself cringe. It drives me insane when people say multiple different or various different, and I just did it with many different. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cringe. I'm cringing at myself right now, people. Okay, so I grabbed some wood veneer tiny stars because I have the wood veneer here on the page, and I felt like I needed to bring a little bit more so it didn't just look like this, bam, this weird thing in your face. I'm thinking about where to put this larger heart, or that is not heart, this larger star, and I decide to put it over here. And then I'm just kind of moving the little stars around to where I think they look the best. I have the wood veneer word for love, and then I'm going to grab some word stickers and go ahead and create a title with that. Now, fun fact, you can use your crystal katana on wood veneer. How awesome is that? So it is a wax tip on one side and a blunt metal tip on the other, and it picks up the wood veneer, and that just made me ridiculously happy, like ridiculously happy. So I'm just dotting some of my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and then I'm like, there is a hole in my star, and I can't have a naked star hole. That's even worse than a naked tag hole. So I'm going to use some embroidery floss, and I'm going to tie a bow in it and just kind of shape my bow to the length I want. Cut off the little ends and glue that sucker right on down to cover up that poor little naked star hole. However, I'm like, I've got a whole bunch of orange in the background and not a whole bunch in the foreground. So I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm going to dip it right into the embellishment mousse, and I am going to cover this bigger star with orange, and then I'm going to go around and cover some of the other little stars as well. So there we go. And now I feel like I've got this sandwich of orange color, and it's not just in the background. So we go ahead and put that little bow in the star hole, and then I decide that I need to do more, because I can't just have one orange star. I need to do more. So I take the word love and I do the same thing. I'm just applying the embellishment mousse with my finger, and then I'm going to do it also on some of the stars around the page. I'm not going to do it on all the stars. Some of them are going to be left as wood veneer, but some of them do get a little bit of this orange embellishment mousse color. And I just like the way it turned out. I think it's fun. I mean, I love stars and space layouts anyway, so there is that. Now I am just about finished. I am going to use some more Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to go ahead and get this wood veneer love word down on the page. And then in that little area right there, I'm going to spell out space. So it's going to say space love. I do believe that is the last of the official decorating I do on this page. I am going to grab my Muji pen, and I'm going to go ahead and write a few little things. Like here I write inside or in the Millennium Falcon. I also write Star Wars. I do the date, which is 2019. Star Wars is going to go over here. So it says Star Wars, it is the best, and then the title is actually Space Love. So there it is, you guys. I'm going to trim down the little bow hang downs because I just felt like they were too big. And that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again real soon for another video.